Cheers! Hey, friends and neighbors. That's a big cup of tea. Anyway, we've got several things today. I've got a giveaway announcement, maybe something else, and 4 knives to unbox. These are all going to be folding, locking knives, pocket knives, if you will. And let's just get right at it, won't we? Yeah, let's do it. First is the giveaway, monthly giveaway from the people who support my channel financially. That's either through patreon.com/CCE or they've clicked the join button down below the video on YouTube for as little as $2 US or $3 Canadian per month. The Patreon one figures it out to whatever currency is near where you live. Not every country's covered, but so it's either USD or the currency of your area. And that's all it is a month. And you get to be having access to knife sales. I had a knife sale last month from all the knives I reviewed last year. And you get early access to those sales, so before anybody else does. So a little less competition for the knives. And one of you wins a knife every single month, and I just ask you guys to help me out with the shipping. Half of the shipping, I pay for the other half, and I give you one of the knives that I reviewed. I sharpen it up really nice, you know, a nice custom sharpening, because I've got a custom sharpening business. You can send me your knives to sharpen if you want. And I do a random draw. I use Google random number generator. I have this month processed just this weekend. What are there? 53 supporters of the channel. I use Google random number generator. Number 37, I look down the alphabetized list. Number 37 is John B. from, I think, just south of Houston in Texas. So, John B., I've sent you an email already, sent you a message on Patreon. Hopefully you get that. And if you don't, check your spam folder or go to Patreon and check your messages there. And yeah, since I've reviewed so few knives, you get to choose from the stuff I've reviewed this year so far, which isn't an awful lot. Yeah, and whatever didn't sell on my knife sale, there was, I don't know, still 10, 15 knives there that didn't sell. So you got a pretty decent choice. And one of those knives is still pretty valuable. So I think it's, I was selling it for 100 US and it retails for more like 170 US, 60, something like that. Anyhow, John gets to choose from anything that's on that list. And we'll see what he chooses. I'll let you know on a later video because I've just sent out that information. So we don't know. You want to get to the tabletop and see what we've got for unboxing? Stick around. Just before I show you those knives, you remember this, my little slip joint, the S320, the 325S by Sanrenmu? Well, I've tried to put it together a couple more times. Yeah, I'm not going to get it together, at least not easily. So I'm going to give it away to anybody who wants it. You got to pay for shipping. In Canada, I can ship this for $4 to you, $4 Canadian. If you live somewhere else other than Canada, it's probably just cheaper for you to buy one that's already together. Take it apart yourself. Yeah, and then you can put it together. But if you want to, no matter where you live in the world, if you want this, I'll send it to you as long as you pay for the shipping. And just email me, jake@CanadianCuttingEdge.com, and yeah, it can be yours in pieces. Let's take a look at the knives that we got today. Kubey. We've got one from Kubey. Now, these knives, they're all available at White Mountain Knives. You save 10% with coupon code CCE. And here's the Kubey. I got a little card there. And just your basic box. Oh, by the way, KU 319B. One of my viewers asked me to review this specific Kubey. This is a Michael Williamson design, or Michael Williamson design, even says there, designed by AUS 10 stainless steel right there. It's got a bead blast finish, which I'm not terribly fond of, but there you go. That's what it's got. Yeah, that's what it is. And at least it doesn't have any badging on the main bevel. It's all up here on the flat, great big flat. You know, it's a Michael Williamson style design, isn't it? It's a big knife. And the forward choil, I would have thought would have been a little bit bigger. It's just barely big enough. I got it in the orange G10. We got a G10 backspacer, lanyard hole, right and left deep carry pocket clip. And it's a big knife. I'm glad my hands are in the extra large range. I wouldn't want them too much smaller. I wouldn't find this knife comfortable. But by the way, my hands, if you haven't heard me say it before, are just barely extra large. So if if your hands are in the large range, this might still be good for you. Lockup looks good. Yeah, no blade play, good alignment, good access to the flipper. And that's the only way to open it, but I think I can probably open it this way, do a slow roll, yeah. Just using my thumb and my index finger to break the detent and then roll it out. So that works just fine if that's what you want to do. Big knife. Yeah, jimping on the spine here, which is fine when you're holding it like this. When you're using the forward choil, you know, your thumb ends up going up here, but it's a fairly thick piece of steel. That's got to be over 1/8 of an inch. And when I do the review, I'll do all the measurements, but the side of my finger here, it's touching that sharp edge whenever I do this. I'm not happy about that. I'm not upset. I'd prefer if that forward choil was bigger. Especially what would be really good is, see the steel from the tang of the blade here, or the flat here? If that was just gone, if this came down right to the G10, so kind of flat, so you have a nice flat area to put the pad of your finger against, and then came out just a little bit further. Like I could grind that out and make it bigger, but then it's going to have a satin finish there instead of, you know, the bead blast finish, and it might draw attention to itself a little too much. But AUS 10, it's a decent stainless steel. I quite like it. And feels like it's going to be a little thicker than 20 thou right behind that edge. Maybe it's right at it. Again, we'll do all the measurements when we do the review. Pretty good skeletonizing in there. Let's just quickly do the balance point. There you go. That's better than a lot of knives. A lot of knives have it, you know, sort of on the back end of this finger choil. This one's a little closer to the pivot pin than some. There, not bad. Not bad. So, comfortable. It's got a little bit of weight to it, but it's not super heavy. Yeah. Nice. One knife that I got, this is available in the States, like I said. White Mountain Knives. What is it? $47.99 or $48.99. No, I'm looking at the wrong one. The Bravo is $45 US. That's the name of it, the Bravo. $45 US. That's before your 10% discount. So just over $40 US for this knife. Not bad. In Canada, it's $61.99, which is pretty much at par with, you know, for the exchange rate and stuff. So if you're in Canada, definitely, you know, don't go buying this in the United States. Blades Canada is the place to get this if you're Canadian. But if you're an American, White Mountain Knives gives you free shipping and you get 10% off with my code. Why not, right? Now for the second knife. The second knife is one that is not available in Canada. The rest are all available in Canada. Trivisa, or Trivisa, whatever you want to call it, Trivisa. I've reviewed a little bit of their stuff. This is the AUR-04L blue micarta handle and 14C 28N stainless steel. So let's open this up here. And for those of you who are new to my channel, I don't get White Mountain Knives to ship these folding knives directly to me. I get them shipped to someone in the United States who then takes them apart and mails me the blades and handles separately. Otherwise, I might never get them. So you get a Trivisa pouch, a microfiber cloth, a little bit of documentation, quality control check. Put those in the box. Decent box. It's not a custom box for this knife, but it's a decent way to hold your knife secure for shipping. And, oh, there's a zip lock on there. Get your fingers in there, Jake. Get your fingers. And undo that. There you go. Now, this is not a denim blue micarta. This is a lighter blue micarta, obviously. We've got a button lock. We've got a bit of a space here for, you know, a cutout for your deep carry clip to sit flush. I wish they would have put in a little plate here as well, because this guy is $58.99 before your discount. So you get 10% off that, so you get $5.80 off it. So it's like in the low 50s for this knife. Flipper, button lock, Trivisa logo right there on the pivot pin, and yeah, T6 screws everywhere except for the pivot. Was that a T6 there too? Let me pull out my screwdrivers. I've been moving them around because I've been working on it. So that's definitely a T8 there on the pivot. T8 on the thumb studs. Yeah, the rest of these are T6. So kind of odd that that's a T8 and these are T6s. Anyhow, let's open it up and see what it looks like. There you go. We've got a, yeah, it rises up and then we got a drop point, nice swedge up there, a little bit of jimping. It says 14C28N in a script somewhat similar to what Harns uses. Okay, that's fine. Forward choil. No other writing, no writing on the main bevel. I like that. Full flat grind, forward choil again, and my finger just barely fits. So my finger fits this forward choil better than it did on the Bravo. Does this guy got a name? I don't think this guy's got a name, just AUR-04L. So the 04L is for the color. I do like this light blue denim. Looks nice. Yeah. So decent. Micarta backspacer. We've got one of those lanyard holes. That's those longer ones. Yeah, decent enough pocket clip. How's it feel in hand? The hand feels a little bit big for it, especially my index finger. Index finger initially is not super comfortable, at least not in the left hand. Let's try it in the right. It's a little bit better in the right, and maybe that's just because my hands. But it feels good, nice texture. I like that. I like that. No blade play, no lock rock. Very smooth feeling. Yeah. The left pocket clip, thumb stud, works pretty well too. Whoop, there we go. I was looking at my camera instead of paying attention to what I was doing. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Not super fidget friendly, but not bad at all. Nice smooth action. Some skeletonizing in there as well. Let's just put that guy up there. So again, that guy is $58.99 before your discount. What else we got? We got two more. We've got a Sencut, and this is the San Angelo S21003. This is the -2 natural G10 9CR18 MOV stainless steel blade. Sencut is doing a nice pouch system with theirs and have been since the early days, not quite the first days, but early days. Microfiber cloth in blue. That blue reminds me of this blue. A little bit, not quite the same. Just a little more purpley, a little bit more of that in it. Anyhow, let's put that aside. Let's take this out. And there we go, a similar kind of blade shape, except it rises up earlier. This one stretches out a little bit more before we got that nice rise up there. And, oh, I like this hand feel. This hand feel is nicer than either of these guys, to be honest with you. At least initially. I've not done any cutting or anything with this. I did get them, like I said, disassembled, so I put them together and I put them back in the package. And they've been sitting that way for a couple weeks now, as I've been doing other stuff. And yeah, decent action. Looks like phosphor bronze cage, I don't remember. Ceramic ball bearings, I think these all have ceramic ball bearings. Stop pin up here, nice flipper action. High flat grind, not quite a full flat grind, thin at the edge. I like that, nice and thin. I've got a feeling that this would be a pretty decent cutter, slicer especially. Decent piercer. Right and left for your pocket clip. Some shallow chamfering along here just to help with the hand feel. I think that really did help, or does help. Liner lock, lock up. Yep, satin finish. Good alignment. Oh, I didn't talk about this guy, did I? Alignment's good. And yeah, none of that lock rock or blade play or anything. Decent balance point on that guy. I should have said that before. Let's check this guy out. Yeah, that's not bad either. I'd like it to be right up against, you know, the guard there that the flipper becomes. Decent sharpness choil here. Oh, there's the steel type written right there. Nice and light, not very dark at all. It's actually lighter than the steel. But you got your Sencut logo on the main bevel. I wish they would have made it smaller and put it right up here, but I say that quite often. Lots of skeletonizing in there. No lanyard option on this guy, but quite nice. Yeah. Price for this is the San Angelo, like I said, $47.99 to $48.99, depending on which handle option you get, or is it the steel? Well, not the steel, the treatment for the blade. I don't remember what it is. You're paying 15% extra if you want to buy this one in Canada. This one's not on par. This one's $74.99 to $76.99 Canadian in Canada, but it's only like $48, $49 US in the States. And with the exchange rate, this is more money in Canada, but still not a crazy amount of money in Canada. About a 15% premium. Oh yeah, let me close that up and put that to the side. Spread these across the top a little bit. And the last knife that we're unboxing, let me see, where are we? We've got a Kansept again. I've been reviewing a few Kansepts lately. I haven't, maybe I should stop. I don't know. You tell me, should I keep reviewing Kansept? I've not been super impressed with their stuff lately. It's not bad. I just haven't been super impressed. We've got a really nice presentation for the box. Really well done box. And let me see if I can get this to come out. Get my fingers behind there. We got a little folder here. There's a microfiber cloth in it, a Kansept microfiber cloth. You know, they do a really good job with the packaging and everything, but not always all that happy with the knife. A little folding case here, a sleeve, and this guy I got in red. Comes in several colors. G10 and micarta. This is a micarta. Right side only pocket clip on this guy. Thumb studs for the deployment, or this hole. Let me see if that hole works. Yeah, the hole works. And what's the model number? T1041A2. Of course, 154 cm. REEDUS design. Oh, good action there. Felt good. Smooth. Yes. Very smooth. Drop shutty. Not that that means an awful lot to me. Much more concerned with how well it opens and how well it cuts. We've got a thick, strong blade. It's full thickness right up to the end, or just before the end. And it's very thick behind the grind up here. Down here, That feels like it's probably under 20 thou. Of course, we'll do all the measurements in-house before we make the video, but this is thicker up here. So this is, oh, I better not say it out loud. I was going to say this is more like a pry bar kind of knife, but I don't suggest people pry with their knives, but especially when it's that thick, that quick, you're not really going to get under stuff all that well anyway, and it's just a recipe for breaking the tip of your knife. But if you were going to abuse your knife and use it to pry with, this is the kind of knife, it's almost like a Scandi grind at the front, and then, a proper flat grind there. Nice stonewash finish. No lanyard option, and right side only. Liner lock, lockup's nice and early. Yeah. Nice and smooth. Good alignment when it's closed. Deploys really well. That's super smooth. Of all these three knives, this has got the smoothest action with the ball bearings that are in there. I'm sure it's ball bearings. I don't remember. I did it a few weeks ago. You'll probably need 2 screwdrivers to undo it, unless it opens nicely on its own. T6 back here again. Yeah. And yeah, that's T8 up here, as I expected. Thumb studs are not removable. I like the look of them when they're not removable, but I like when they're actually removable. Like that, just because you can then remove them. But these are so far back, they would probably not get in the way of any sharpening, even if you wanted to do a really shallow angle. Could always, clamp them on a bit of an angle, at least if you're using the kind of system that I use, a guided sharpening system. You can always sharpen down, with your stone like this instead of coming straight down. But that's not too thick there anyways. You got enough distance this way. On this knife, it wouldn't be a problem. They all feel sharp to the fingertips. And of course, I'll do a sharpness test on all of them later on. So this is the REEDUS, $69. Is that worth it? Is it a good knife for 69 US dollars? It's about $100 in Canada. 100 Canadian bucks in Canada. Maybe. I think somebody asked me to review this guy too. I'm not so sure I would have bought it otherwise, but I am quite happy with that action. It doesn't have a forward choil, but it's got this flat area here that works to grab onto. No jimping up here. Back here it's okay too. Oh, look, from my skin, the oils already are turning this sort of pinky look red just because I'm touching it. My hands tend to be quite oily. That's just the way it is with my skin. I guess it's a good thing in a one way. I don't get dry skin super easily, but yeah, I'm not fond of having oily skin, but this channel isn't about dermatology, so there you go, the REEDUS. Is that the designer? Or is it just the name of the knife? Why don't I know this? I feel like I'm supposed to know this. I don't know. I'm just not always all that brilliant. My memory isn't all that great either. So left-handed, it still works to deploy that blade, because that's just so smooth. I like that. Without being loose at all. Very happy with that part. But you get a little more room behind the thumb stud on the right side than you do on the left, but it can still be done on the left. So if you're left-handed and don't mind a left pocket clip, then maybe, but otherwise I think this is basically a right-hander knife. And like I said, $100 Canadian, 69 US. You take off 10%, so that's like $7 off almost. So the low 60s for this knife. And that's what we got today. We've got several knives. I like the stonewash finish on a couple of them, satin finish. And you got to bead blast. It's okay. Not terrible. Quite a colorful batch we got here today, isn't it? What do you think? Do you have any of these knives? What do you think of them? What do you dislike about them? Let us know in the comments down below. And congratulations again to John from Texas. And I've reviewed very few knives, so I'm letting him pick from whatever knives were left over from the knife sale, plus anything that I've reviewed since then as well that I still have. Except for, not this guy. That's going to somebody else, if anybody asks for it. Thanks for watching. Thank you to my supporters. You guys are stunning. I appreciate you an awful lot. That's why I give a knife away every single month. It's not economical for me to do that when I only review a couple knives a month, so I got to get off my tail and start doing more reviews. And remember, friends, always cut towards your chum, not your thumb. Bye for now.